Welcome back. President Trump striking a deal with Mexico to crack down on illegal immigration as border apprehensions surged for the month of May. Our next guest expects the crisis to worsen, raising his predictions to over 1 million apprehensions this year alone. Here to explain, Princeton Policy Advisors President Stephen Kopitz. Stephen, good to see you.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
Let's first get your reaction to what the president announced as a deal with Mexico. Democrats have been predicting gloom and doom. He's going to end up caving. He'll get nothing from Mexico. Do you think he got a good deal?
Well, I think it remains to be seen. I think there are three important elements, which is the scope, the timing, and the efficacy. The two elements that caught my eye, one was the 6,000 National Guard troops. Now the question is by Mexico, how they're deployed. It's a big country. It's an awful lot of Mexicans, so let's see that. The other is the Migrant Protection Protocol, which allows the U.S. to actually redeport asylum seekers to Mexico. Again, how fast, how many, will the courts tolerate it if you have just, hundreds of thousands of people in camps there? That could be potentially important. The question is how fast does it roll out in what seems to be a rapidly worsening environment.
And the third thing you said?
Yeah, just those two elements, but how big, how fast, and do they really work well?
Do they really work? Okay, now let's get to the diagnosis of the problem. Why are you predicting that we're going to have 1 million apprehensions at the border for this fiscal year, basically? I mean, that's far beyond anything we've seen in a long time.
In a very long time, yes. So, 5 months of the calendar year is already done. So that's baked in. And then essentially we forecast out with normal seasonality. So we're not even very high for the back end of the year.
What's behind this?
The asylum law just opened up the border to families from Central America. It's now a free pass. Bring the wife and the kids. You can get into the U.S.
Or bring somebody else's kids.
Yeah, you can do that too. So you can rent a kid if you want, but the gist of it is the southern border is materially open now to families from Northern Triangle countries and increasingly other countries that have asylum or refugee implications, some from Africa, for example.
So your message to Chuck Schumer this morning, who looked at this deal and said, okay, we don't have a problem anymore.
I think the Democrats are playing a very dangerous game here. This is likely to get worse. So we've had some projection here. We can go to 150,000. These border crossings have been rising since the beginning of the year by about 27,000 a month. So we're at 133,000 for May. That'll put us 160,000 for June. I think it'll be less. The trend line takes us to 150. But the issue is fundamentally from the migrants' point of view, this system can't last. It's unsustainable. And at some point, someone's going to pull the plug, either the president or the Congress with the president or the Mexicans or somebody. So if you're going to come, you got to come now. And that's why I think we see these rapid accelerations.
Since Congress has shown no ability to do anything to deal with this, what's the one or two things that you would want the president to do?
Well, I think he's doing what he can. Right now, I just think he has not very many cards to play here, and he's playing what he can. This Migrant Protection Protocol to re-export, that's a positive. If it were possible to separate parents from children, that could be a positive. And any help the Mexicans can give. But it remains to be seen how effective these steps will be.
Skepticism, but maybe some optimism as well.
He's trying.
Stephen Kopitz, appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in.